Hi guys, Thogrey here with a new video, and this video will be a tier list video for Wrath of the Lich King to actually give you an insight on which classes you should main for PvP and PvE. It is a bit a mismatch. For me it is more PvP. I'm going to outweigh PvP a little bit more because I'm a PvPer, but I'm going to discuss about PvE as well, so you can also get an idea of those classes and how they are standing like fun-wise. Power wise, we can make another video for that, but for me, whenever you're maining a specific class, it is probably because you like to play that class and not because it is like the most OP thing. A lot of people can like pick a class just because of its OPness, but sometimes, yeah, they don't really have the fun factor and they drop the class really fast. So let's talk right away with Frost DKs, Unholy DKs, and Blood DKs. For me, it is a A tier. It is patch 9. It is patch 3.3.5, which is not the best patch for DKs. So power-wise, it is a bit dimmed down, but I feel like you will still have a lot of fun with them. If you're playing Unholy, you are going to be a PvP machine. You can do a lot of twos, you can do a lot of threes, and the best actual comp that you can play is TSG. You also have a great spot in raids because you will do a lot of damage. You also are a great tank, and I feel like it is one of the most fun tanks to play because for once you can really be self-sufficient because you can heal yourself, and sometimes your healer will have like nothing to do in dungeons, so it's actually satisfying to play. Frost DKs, also big crits and also big CC possibilities. You can play dual wield if you want. You can play like with a big two-hander. I would just play with a two-hander, but that's beside the point. So 8 here for me. I'm probably going to play or main DKs whenever it comes out, combined with another class and maybe a third class to just like alt and do other stuff with it. Shamans. So shamans, elemental shaman, enhancement shaman, and resto shamans become really great classes and great specs because in TBC and in vanilla they felt like more true hybrids. It means like you are really not great at something except elemental shaman, which is super great to one-shot people in vanilla and TBC sometimes, in BGs, but in arenas it was not really well received in TBC. But in Wotlk, I mean, Wrath of the Lich King, elemental shamans are going to be nasty. They are going to one-shot people with lava bursts, chain lightnings, lightning bolts. It is going to be insane. Resto shamans has Riptide, which is really a big help for resto shamans in general because they will finally have some great healing output, even instant, so it's very good. And also enhancement shaman becomes really that full-fledged enhancement beast because you will have your wolves, you will have some great damage. You will be actually happy with the new patch. Like from vanilla to TBC, I felt like it was not really a great upgrade because I loved to actually play with two-handers, but now with Wotlk, your dual wielding capabilities are very great, and you still can do some two-hander shenanigans, but I would not recommend. But you can do some two-hander shit in BGs and have like crazy fun with it. So for me, it will be a S tier class to main because you actually have three great classes. Although in raids you are not going to stack a lot of shamans, it will eventually like open spots for you because a lot of those shamans that main shamans in TBC is just to get a raid spot, they are going to move out, and the true shamans that really love playing shamans will have eventually a good spot as a healer or as a DPS. Frost mages, arcane mages, or even fire mages are going to be very happy with Wrath of the Lich King. You will have Deep Freeze as a frost mage, which gives you infinite possibilities in PvP. You can also do like a double deep freeze shenanigans in arenas whenever you're doing like cold snap. You can do a lot of good things. Arcane is going to be super fun because of Arcane Blast and also barrage, so it will do a like very good damage, although your mana is going to suffer. So in arenas it is not going to be optimal, but you can one shot people, you can have fun with arcane. And fire mage is going to be insane, man. Whenever you're going to play with a boomkin, for example, or with another caster, you will be like living the dream. It is not comparable with Shadowlands Fire Mage. Fire Mage in Shadowlands, you are like only about combust, while Fire Mages in Wrath of the Lich King are going to go in whenever they are going to go in. So it's very good. So I'm going to put it in S tier to actually main it. You're still very squishy though. So now we are with druids, so we are talking about feral druids, DPS and tank, balanced druids, which are super cool to play in Wrath of the Lich King, and also resto druids, which are a step down from TBC, but they are still going to be very good. The reason is because you have a lot of good healers that are going to step up in Wrath of the Lich King, like for example, holy paladins and priests in general. But if we're talking about Resto Druid, is it fun? It is definitely fun because you actually have like multiple classes into one, and this time you're not playing like in vanilla where you are like master of none. You are actually playing a feral druid that is actually going to do insane damage while doing berserk. You can play a boomy, which is like if left untouched, like for example in 3v3 if you're playing with a fire mage for example, you can blow up people. Starfall is an insane ability in Wrath of the Lich King, does a lot of damage, and if it's not interrupted by, for example, a stun or like a fear, something that can give a loss of control to the druid, you can really get a lot of damage, especially if you're alone with the druid. You get all the starfalls on your head and you're pretty much like obliterated. For me, it is really a S tier class to actually main in Wrath of the Lich King. You will have crazy sets, you will have crazy damage, your tankiness is actually going to be improved upon since TBC. You have a lot more abilities, you will feel a lot more fuller whenever you're going to play Druid. So it is also one of the classes that I'm probably going to play maybe as an alt, but you're going to enjoy your time. As a Resto Druid, you will get some mm, cool stuff as spells. At least your like talent tree is going to be a lot more wholesome, a lot more interesting to play. You are going to be feeling more like a Resto Druid that should have been felt in TBC. In TBC, you were like pretty much a great healer, but you didn't really feel the HOTS like rolling and being successful for your team. For Resto Druids in Wrath of the Lich King, it is actually going to be a step up. Although I will say that the power level from a Resto Druid is going to step down in the first season, and it will be better and better with the seasons that are going to come with the new force, the new sets, the new stats that you are going to get from better gear. This will help you to actually have an impact for later matches, for example, later matches, later seasons in the expansion from Wrath of the Lich King. So. Hunters, PM hunters are going to feel a bit let down because it is really not the best spec for hunters. Survival is a bit, it's alright, but I feel like you are going to play marksmanship most of the time. So will you like it? I feel like it is mainable, but you are going to maybe not like it in the long run if you're like alcoholic like me and you want like to have more of a feeling to actually change specs and have a better feeling of the class. That will not really happen with hunters because I feel like the classes plays actually the same whenever you're switching. So for me, it is a B tier, fun class to main in Wrath of the Lich King. It is very powerful in PvP, very powerful in PvE, but is it actually fun to play? Is it rewarding to play? Do you have a lot of versatility to actually change specs on the go and actually enjoy those specs on the go? I feel like it is a lot more difficult. Although I feel like pet-wise and the new pet talent systems that they have in Wrath of the Lich King actually is interesting to play and actually interesting to actually feel whenever you're going to play Hunter in Wrath of the Lich King. A lot better than in TBC, for example. You will also have some great abilities that actually does a lot of damage, a lot of CC, a lot of control, but yeah, I feel like the fun factor is a bit less. Although it is also a contender for me to actually main, but it will not be my main class. It will be probably my third or fourth class that I'm actually going to play in Wrath of the Lich King. Retribution Paladin and Holy Paladin and Protection Paladin are all S tier specs, but also fun wise, I feel like Protection Paladins really become that good tank that they actually always remembered. That was like the staple spec for tanking in general, but also Holy Paladin with Sacred Shield, which is really an awesome ability, and we'll feel that Holy Paladins have more usefulness in arenas, but also in raids and also in dungeons. So I feel like, in general, paladins will feel like a better version of themselves than in TBC, for example. Pretty much all classes have that, but I feel like you will have a lot of fun with paladins because you have Retri Paladin, you have like a lot of great sub specs that you can play in arenas, like for example Retribution Paladin with a Protection Paladin to combined. Um, Preg Paladin, if I don't remember, if I remember correctly. So it's you have a lot of good things for Paladin going on, so you will have a lot of fun like maining one. So I would just level one, I feel like, and just enjoy like the fruits of your annoyance that you had in vanilla and TBC. So, priests. I feel like Disc Priest is going to be very enjoyable for a lot of people. I'm going to put it in A tier. Shadow Priest is also going to be enjoyable to play, although it's still not the beast spec for raids or dungeons. You're going to enjoy your time in arenas, but again, I feel like everyone is going to play Disc. Holy Priest is really only a PvE spec. You're not going to play in PvP. And Shadow Priest, although it is better, I still think that Affliction Warlocks are probably better, or a better version for arenas, for example. But you can combine a Shadow Priest with an Affliction Warlock, and then it becomes very scary to actually dispel anything. So, a very good class overall. If you want to main a healer, but also want to play DPS like an Affliction Warlock, I would just play a Shadow Priest or a Priest in general to actually enjoy those things. You will also have double spec, so you can actually change your specs on the go, which is actually awesome for PvP and also PvE. Rogues, I feel like rogues are not a great main class because assassination rogues are not the best. Combat rogue is kinda a meme in arenas. You can do a killing spree and kill people, but again, you're relying about killing spree, and whenever you don't have killing spree, you are actually a worse subtlety rogue. So that's why you only have one spec that is really reliable for PvE and PvP, and it's subtlety rogues. And yeah, you can main it, you can have a lot of fun, but you really need to understand that, look, if you're not a rogue lover from the start, I don't think like Wrath of the Lich King will make you a rogue lover. I feel like Wrath of the Lich King are like the good treat to a rogue only because they are maining rogue since vanilla and TBC, and I don't see anyone not playing rogue right now to actually like make a rogue for Wrath of the Lich King, because the expansion, although has subtlety, which is a very good spec, it is not catering towards the new rogue players. It is catering towards the vanilla and the TPC rogues. And you will have fun, but I feel like if you are not maining rogue right now, you will not main in Wrath of the Lich King, in my opinion. So, Warlocks. So, I feel like it is a tier spec to main because you have like two great specs to actually play in PvP, and then a third one which is probably only going to be better for the first season. And raids wise, you're going to enjoy your time because demonology is going to get fed all the year. Affliction Warlock is going to be insane and also a lot funner to play, a lot more reactive. I made a video about it, about Warlock, so you can always check it out. At the end of the video, I will put the video so you can easily click on it. And in general, destruction warlocks are going to feel super strong because you will have a stun on demand, you will have chaos bolt which does a lot of damage, your incinerates are going to be sometimes instant, sometimes a lower cast time, but also a lot of damage. Sometimes it is comparable with chaos bolts. So really, warlocks are in a great spot. I feel like you're still going to get trained, but you have a TP this time, so you will have a lot more mobility. Yeah, I feel like if you want to make the switch to warlock, this expansion will give you a reason for, because every mage likes to blink, but can you really TP on demand whenever you want, wherever you want? and warlocks can give you that. So I feel like warlock is a great spec to actually main. And then you have a warrior. Warrior is basically only arms in PvP and sometimes prots. And I feel like it is also a very good class to main. So I'm going to put it in A tier. Protection warriors are very good. In general, has insane damage in PvP and also insane control. That AoE stun is going to be like great to actually play. In general, your arms warrior is going to be insane and also in high demand because in twos you're going to be loved by holy paladins, and also in threes because you have TSG, you have multiple great comps to play like Thunder, Turbo, everything. That actually, as an arms warrior, you are going to have a great time. So I would just suggest to play arms whenever you're playing warrior. You can also play fury and like play with two big two-handers and you can have fun with it. But I feel like if you're going to do some great PvP and you want that MS, like that real reliable MS, I feel like you're going to go for arms regardless. You can play protection warrior and then just one-shot people, but that's another story for another time, and that is a very good spec to actually play in PvE too. So yeah, this is the end of the video. I hope you liked it. This is purely about fun and not power, because again a subtlety rogue is very powerful, and I feel like sometimes a warlock is S tier damage wise, and Retribution Paladin might be S tier in DPS for arena, but in PvE, it is not going to be main like a great spec to play. It is going to be fun, but it's not going to be insane like DPS wise. The same for DK. DK is like at the last patch of the season, the last patch of the expansion is not going to be insane like it was whenever it came out, but it can be very interesting and actually very rewarding to play. So this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and we will see each other very soon. Bye.